All right, are we on?
Oh, we on, my brother. Welcome back,
Oh, we
everybody.
on, my man. All right,
Welcome back, everybody, to part two of just a conversation with the great JP the Pompafillian.
God is good. God's son, the
Amen.
Pharaoh.
Amen. God is most definitely the greatest. Brother, my brother, my brother, my brother, you have said such wisdom. You ranneth off the cup and runneth over.
You know what? That's love, man. Thank you for listening, man. A lot of people won't even listen to me. Thank you for listening,
Oh, wow. What people play your music all day long, brother. I know people listen to you.
man. I don't even know, man. I mean, I got a lot of support when it comes to my sisters, few of my brothers, few of my cousins. But I like besides that, man, I don't know. You, of course, you know what I mean.
Mm,
You and some of the guys, you know what I mean, online and everything. But I don't even know, man. I don't know.
bruh. You are definitely heard it. What the wise words you just spoke,
Mm.
did you definitely go get heard for sure not.
They- Thank you, brother.
But
God's
listen,
good, man. Pray for me.
let me if I may touch on a few
Yes,
things
yes,
that you
please.
spoke on. Now, I'm not I'm not sure how much research or study you have done on the history of Christendom,
All right.
the history of the word or term God, Lord, Almighty, etc., etc., etc.
Hmm.
The term God, from my understanding and studies, is
Right,
a title of high honor, true enough, but a title in itself. That's
right.
why,
Yes,
like, with me, when when I say the Most High Creator, that's what I mean. That divine energy.
yes,
When I
sir.
use the
Yes.
term God, I'm speaking about basically us being spiritual beings housed in this physical flesh,
Right.
because God is a title. And once we become one with our higher self, that divine energy that is within us, consciously wise. So we're dealing with the mental connecting to the spiritual,
Right.
what Yeshua did, the
Yes. Absolutely.
transmutation. You know what I'm saying? This is what the transmutation actually is. You connecting and becoming one with the higher self, which the higher self is divine energy that's within
Mhm.
us, our true self.
Right.
The Bible, outside of, and I'm just dealing with the 66 books.
Right.
We ain't go because what you spoke on about the books that's not there. They're not there for a reason.
Right.
Cool. But like you say, people deal with the books that they do have. The
Right.
King James version is lesser than the Catholic version, and everybody
Right.
understands that also.
Right. Yes.
We don't had a the King James didn't deal with the Maccabees. You know what I'm saying? I guess they was beefing or
Right.
something.
Right. Know what the hell was going on, man? But James said, "Well, fine. I'm gonna go do my own thing."
You
Gotcha.
know what
Gotcha.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, King James is like Shakespeare. Should we add the Maccabees? No, we will not.
Yeah. I feel. I feel you, bro. All right. Good point. Good point. Good point. Uh huh.
But basically, what the Old Testament, and if when I read the Old Testament, I hear totalitarianism.
Hmm.
I see humanistic actions
Right.
with the title of Lord Almighty, God, etc., 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 etc.
Hmm.
My favorite chapter in Genesis is chapter 11 because it talks about the
Okay.
Tower.
Tower
Here
of
is the
Babel.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
Uh,
I always ask the preachers and reverends, man, that weren't afraid to speak to me.
right.
No,
Yeah.
and I say that like that because preachers, pastors, they're very opinionated.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes.
They don't believe in being corrected. They don't believe in being asked questions. Is what they say because this is what they studied and this is what the Bible and you know the whole routine.
Yeah, and
But
freaking hey, and just more than half of them weren't even called. So I don't
come
even know
on,
why they be freaking
man,
acting like that in the first place.
man, what? And you know what,
More than
cousin?
half of them. Uh huh.
On a side note, I actually liked it, Joel Osteen.
I
That,
hate Joel Osteen.
that's just a side note. I mean, before
I
all this
hate.
other bull,
I feel you, bro, but I hate Joel Osteen. I can't stand that dude. I hate that guy.
oh, oh
JP
boy,
the Pompafillian. I cannot stand that dude. I
that's a
cannot.
strong word, my brother. You so silly.
Oh, I.
That, I'd have been better off saying Paula White, huh?
Oh hell no! Johnson! Now you just trolling me, bro. You trolling me, man. Chill out, dog. Chill out, man. Chill out, man. I know you playing. Nah, I know you playing. Oh
Oh,
man, that's funny. That was funny. Oh man.
but no, basically, bro, what I'm saying is you take a people who spoke one language, their thought processes were on one link. So they
Right.
were one with the universe. They built something that they gave honor to God
Mm-hmm.
or a God, however you choose to look at the story.
Right.
But it said, God said, let us go down and confound their language. So they
Mm.
won't, he said, these people, they thinking as one. They're moving as one.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna have you do one thing real quick.
Yes,
Put
sir.
your mind in the mentality of creator. You have
Okay.
created a people.
Mm-hmm.
These people choose to give honor to you as their creator,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't like it. Does that
Mm.
sound like something divine?
Nah. Nah. It doesn't.
That's a human emotion.
Right. Right. Yeah. God made man to serve him. So if they serve you by building something or singing something or like saying something, it's more so like a sweet savor. It's like a sweet smell to you. It's not gonna piss you off.
Exactly. No, even at that, the Most High Creator is divine energy. The
Hmm.
Most High Creator has no concern about our earthly machinations because He has given us, as spiritual beings in this human flesh, free will.
Mm. Hmm.
Our free will is to experience for the universe.
Right.
We're gonna leave that as a side note. We're gonna get back to this
Okay.
Tower of Babel.
Let's get it. Okay. All right.
God saw that the people spoke and moved as one. But who is us? Let
Mm.
us go down and confound their language. Who is us? Who is he talking to?
Right. Mm. Now I feel like I know it, but if I say it, we're gonna go left and it's gonna turn into a whole different conversation. So just go ahead with your thought process, bro, because I want to hear it. Honestly, I want to hear it.
No, my thing is these are human actions,
Right.
human thoughts, human emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Titles of God, Lord, Almighty, etc., 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 were for kings and queens who are of a high spiritual nature at that time and era. See, we don't have no time chronological order with the Bible.
Right.
The book of Numbers, Deuteronomy, Kings, and all this supposed to be a lineage of this and this and this, but God, Louis, it's so many names up in that joint.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You got 10 chapters that ain't nothing but names.
Nothing but names. Absolutely. Yes.
Methuselah begot Huhusala.
Wait
Huhusala begot Shushala.
a minute.
Shushala. Come on, man.
Wait a minute, man. Are we talking about Methuselah, bro? Oh man.
Man,
Come
come
on, man.
on, man.
Come on, man.
It's
Oh man.
it's what I'm saying to you, King, is that, and to the people, research.
Right.
Spirituality is beautiful for those that partake up in the doctrines of religion in the
Mm-hmm.
proper positive manner. That's beautiful. When it
Right.
comes to the point where your religious doctrine tells you to despise, hate, cast off, etc., 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 someone else because of their views, then it's something wrong with your religion.
Right. Right.
People have been caught up in titles:
Yes. Absolutely.
president, congressman,
Mm-hmm.
lawyer, esquire this, esquire that.
Yep.
And what is it all for? Just like you were saying about the title of veteran. What is it all for? You know
Really.
what I'm saying?
Really.
Here, you got people that are believing in their religion more than they believe in themselves.
Dude. Straight.
And this is the issue and the problem that Yahshua seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yahshua came to tell the people to look within themselves. He didn't tell nobody to look in the sky and see God. You look in the sky that the Most
Right.
High created,
Yes.
you know, all that old billowy clouds and this Marlon Brando looking dude hanging out. Come on.
Marlon Brando. I
It's
like
too
it.
much.
I like it. Yeah, man.
It's,
It's a
you
lot.
know,
It's a lot. Yeah.
it's yeah. It's when all you got to do is just be peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
look within self, and the best thing they could have put in the book:
What's that?
do unto others as you want others to do unto you. That's the
Mm.
most. That that there they could have put that one line on page one and
Mm-hmm.
left the rest of that shit empty.
Right. Right.
And I'm not disrespecting the holy books, but what I'm saying is that one line, bro. Do
Mm-hmm.
unto others as you want others to. You don't want nobody slapping you, don't slap nobody. You don't want nobody
Right.
robbing you, don't rob nobody. You don't want nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Simple.
Because
Yeah.
what it really is just an understanding of the universe.
Mm. Right.
But how can one understand the universe when they don't want to really understand themselves? Because we are the universe.
Mm.
Science. Scientists tell you all day, every element, mineral, vitamin, et cetera, that we have in the physical body
Mm-hmm.
is in the universe.
Mm.
A physical body is 75% water. The earth, the mass, 75% water. You have water on the earth, you have watering above the firmament. But the
Right.
water above the
Right.
firmament is in gas form. It's
Hmm.
in vapors. You see what I'm saying? So you got
Right.
liquids, solids, and gases.
Yes.
All this is in the physical body too. So
Mm.
why wouldn't the spiritual element of the universe be within the physical body of the human race?
Now, I do believe, and that's a good point, man. And your freaking wisdom is profound. I just want you to freaking know that, bro. Your mind. I don't. I don't care where you got it from or how long it took you to get it. What you have right now is profound. I want you to know
I'm,
that.
I'm, I'm humbled and honored, brother. I'm just a messenger.
Yeah, bro, and that's why I love you, bro. You you keep it real, man. Like I gotta respect that. But not, well, because I'm not gonna but that. There is no but in that. It's how I see it, right? It's
Okay.
not but it's how I see it. It's when I think about all that you just unpacked, I I I just have to stop for a second and say, wow. Just wow. Because it's just amazing literature. It's just amazing speech. It just really makes you think outside the box, really.
That's what
Um,
we're supposed to be doing, bro.
that's what
We're
we're supposed to
supposed
be
to be
doing.
living
And and
outside the box.
and that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm thinking outside of
Yes.
the box. And
Amen.
and 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 Lou, look, I have never thought about this until you started speaking. So I gotta say it's from God.
Okay.
And if it's not, God is going to correct me if it's not. But where my mind went was when you're talking about the Tower of Babel, correct?
Yep.
The story goes just like you said. They started to build a tower because they wanted to get to God.
Yep.
The the actual tower, I don't from what I've read, it's not actually the tower wasn't meant to like be a shrine for God. It was them trying to get to God. And
Yep.
they built this tower above the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got to a certain point, they was like, we're in the heavens. So they started taking knives and they started to push up into the clouds with their knives. And God to throw these people off because man is not God. Nowhere near. So God says, let's put blood on the tips of these spears to make them think that they got us. So they goes picking these swords and these spears up and they see blood and they freaking celebrate. Ah! God says, if if they keep this up, they're gonna get to us. Not to us as an actual us. They're gonna get to heaven and they're gonna kill themselves because you can't breathe at a certain point. Like you're gonna get up there, still trying to build this freaking tower up like 5,000 feet, and you're gonna lose air and you're gonna die. And everybody's gonna keep on going up until they get the point people are falling, and then they're gonna stop. So how does God stop that? He puts blood on there and says, "All right, you got me." And he's toying with them, but to stop them from trying, because one thing man has is a brain, and it's a God-given brain that man has. So if they try one thing and it doesn't work, they're going to try something else. They're doing it today, trying to get to God. They're doing it today. But how he slows it down, how I think God slows it down, what my spirit is telling me. He slows it down by freaking making them dumb to language and dispersing everybody saying, stop. Now it's getting annoying. Just stop. So when he says us, what my spirit tells me is that us is him and Jesus. Now, if God could come down himself in his form, right, in his spiritual form, God is a spirit. If he comes down in his spiritual form, which if God had a toe and he stuck his toe into time, time would disperse. That's how powerful God is. If God could spit, if God had a mouth and spit, God is a spirit. If God had a mouth and spit onto time and it went into earth, earth would shatter, and so would everything else. That's how powerful God is. So when he says us, when you understand eternity is no beginning and is no end. It's already happened, it's already failed, it's already succeeded. That's eternity. It's now. It's not then, it's not later, it's now. It's already been then, it's already been later. It's now. That's eternity. So Jesus is already there when he says, let us. How does God now this is what like really like just now in this moment, bro, like not even later. Just now, just hearing it now. It's like let us. So he sends Jesus down. And like maybe Jesus touches because he has to touch somebody. Maybe. He has to touch somebody's tongue. Maybe Jesus taps somebody's shoulder or something, and their whole language changes. And then everybody just goes crazy because nobody can understand nobody. So when he
Right.
says let us, it's we both go down there. I'm in the midst, but you're on the ground. You are Jesus. I am in this flesh. This is me in the flesh, Jesus. I gotta touch you. I can't touch you if I'm in my spirit form, in my true form. I can't touch you. So if I come down in a suit of flesh, I can touch you. I can deal with you. So when you come down in the flesh and you still God, you just got flesh on, you change everybody's language, you're like, all right, this is getting annoying. Disperse and do your own thing. You're gonna keep trying to get to me, but as for now, the next 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years, you're gonna be trying to figure out what the heck happened. Like I'm gonna slow this down. That's what you just said. All of that made me think about that one scene is him and God coming down here, him and Jesus coming down here and changing everybody's tongue, and everybody's just like, we can't work like this. Now they're getting frustrated. They are being humans now. They are getting frustrated. I asked you to hand me a brick, not that. What are you doing? Like it's getting tiresome, and they're going with everybody that might can understand them. They're going with them. That's why all of these different people that turned into tribes are dispersing everywhere. That's what it makes me think of. Because when I think of the universe, I think of it being this expansion that is never ending, that we haven't seen the beginning of it, we haven't seen the ending of space. It's just never ending. That's how I think of space. Because I do study science and I don't dispel science because it's not Christianity. It's science. It's just like God saying, I'm gonna give you all this much, but it's only gonna be theory because I can't give you any facts. I don't want to give you any facts. All
Yeah.
scientists deal with is theory. Scientists
Right.
doesn't really deal with any facts. They only deal with theory.
Right.
But all of their theories are basically facts. But it's that mind. God can only we are just only going to think so far ahead with our minds because that's how God made it. So it's got to be theory because if our minds went an extra inch, we'll know it's fact. But we can only think this is theory, but it makes sense and it adds up. That's that's why we
So
are who
you
we are.
so you're saying that the Most High Creator purposely hindered us from using 100% of our brain power.
Purposely,
Why
yes,
would he
sir.
do that?
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally believe that. Totally.
Why? Why would he do that? That's
I think he stopped that. I think he stopped that. Now, if we're all together, if we're all one, this with you, I totally agree with. This with you is if we all were together as one, we would be a 100% working brain. 100% open brain, not really working because the brain works. Open brain. 100% if we were together, but we're not. But I I think from the word, not from just my own thoughts, is that God stopped that 100% brain being open thing when Eve bit that fruit. I think that's when it stopped. When everybody came together and got so far to where they was going to be up in space and just start dropping like flies. That is like, if we could do that now, we could build a Tower of Babel and we could start in spacesuits and get farther than they did back then because we'll have spacesuits on now. Like if we all worked as one, we could probably get to the moon with a tower building it. We could probably do it if we did it now together. If they took black folks seriously and they just actually let us work with everything else, with everyone else, and they actually took us as some kind of actual people that could freaking benefit. I think if we all worked as one, black, white, purple, blue, green, if we all worked as one to get to the moon, to get to Jupiter, we could actually do it because all of our brains is on the same exact frequency. And that's what God stopped because he stopped it with Eve. And then he stopped it again with this Tower of Babel. Because with Eve, they were made like this. They were made freaking the Garden of Eden was basically heaven. They were made with their minds completely open in a spiritual sense, not in a physical sense. And then with the Tower of Babel, they are still just working with an only certain part of their brain. But when they're all together, when they're all working as one, black, white, green, purple, blue, working as one to get to one goal, they were succeeding. They were succeeding to getting to the highest points of the heavens, the freaking firmaments. They were getting to it. And God was saying, y'all are gonna kill yourself. Nah, shut it off.
Wow.
That's just what it. That's just how it came to my mind.
I no,
And I don't
that's
think the
very
spirit speaks.
interesting. That's a very interesting theory. And for one, I've never heard the story about the knife thing. The
Yeah,
to put the blood
knives
on the
or
tip of
spears.
the
It was
knife.
probably spears, but I do think it was spears, not knives. But yeah, he put blood on the tip of the spear.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Hmm.
That's wow, JP.
It's, it's different, man. Different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely different, my brother. That's definitely different.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man.
that's
God's good.
hmm.
And I only
Okay.
call him by title because that's what I was growing up saying. And if I was to call him what Yah, if I was to call him Yah, that would be
Mhm.
like saying like calling my dad Willie. I just can't do it. I just gotta call him by I mean it is it is just like a respect thing, man. It's just
No,
God, Jesus, Lord. It's just like that.
got you. So, in your, we go keep. I'm gonna keep rolling with your theory. Where was
Yes, sir.
Lucifer in all this?
Lucifer, he was
Yeah.
probably the one that tried to get them to try to get to God because that them trying to get to God was not a uh an act of what you want to call it reverence. It wasn't them trying to show respect for God trying to get to him. They went up there with spears. They're like I don't want to go as far as to say that they were trying to take over, but if God tells you who He is, and you tell him that you believe it, you're not going to go at him with spears. You are going to go at him with your heart and with your mind and nothing else. But if you're going at him with spears, you got a separate agenda. You have to have one because you have a weapon in your hand. You're not believing what you know about who you know is God. So if you got spears up there, you have a separate agenda. You're trying to take something over. You're like trying to you're I won't go as far as to say as like take his place, but you're trying to get some power up there. You're trying to do something. You're trying to bring man's war up to God, which you're not going to do regardless. But I just think if they was doing that, then the root of all that had to be Lucifer. It had to be.
Hmm. Would that be after the fall or before the fall?
Oh man, Lucifer was the cause of the fall. Like first, if oh man, I love you,
See,
ladies.
I
I
see.
want ladies to know I love you.
I,
But
I
he
asked.
used a woman. Yeah, the fall came with Eve. Like the fall came with Eve, and man was close by.
Man's
And
fall
yes,
came. Man's fall came with Eve. Lucifer fall was way
yes,
before Eve.
way before. Oh, his fall. All right, his fall was him wanting to be in God's spot. He's
No, I'm asking, was the Tower of Babel situation before or after Lucifer's fall?
after. It had to be after.
Why?
Be, because if it was before Lucifer's fall, if it was before Lucifer's fall, it would have never happened.
You sure?
If Eve's tasting of the fruit was before Lucifer's fall, it would have never happened. He had to have been or ejected from heaven and before all of this, because if there is no freaking if like the Garden of Eden housed the first being, the first man. So if there's no freaking evil on this rock that we call Earth, then it's it has to be after. It 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 it, it has to be. It just makes sense.
Hmm.
Spiritual
I,
sense, not like manly
no,
sense. Because
I know what you're saying, but I was just asking because these are things that are never asked.
right, right, bro, right. But it's just if like you understand is if there was like any kind of evil on Earth, be before Eve and before the tower, then we see how things can go awry, how things can go left. But if there is no freaking evil on Earth, because evil was in freaking Lucifer, and when he came down and his half a legion of angels or one and a half legions of angels went down with them, that's when it was ejected from the perfect place, heaven. That was when it was ejected from it. So it's on earth. So if you're on earth, you are accessible to evil because earth is a physical place. Heaven
Is
is not.
chaos evil?
Chaos is, I don't know if it could be. It could, I mean, chaos
Ooh
could
wee.
be
Yeah,
evil.
get them hamsters running. Yeah,
Man,
get them
chaos,
hamsters running.
man, look, man, like chaos has such a broad definition that, of course, it could be friggin' evil if you come with the friggin' evil heart and you cause chaos. But if God is just being God, if God is just doing His own thing, and He looks at His spiritual clock and says, "It's time for a friggin' tornado," and He sends a tornado. It's not him being evil that you lost your home and that the trees fell and that freaking half the earth is destroyed. It's not him being freaking evil. That's just nature. That's just God knowing that this freaking tornado is due in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tornado's coming. That's chaos too, but it's not evil. But if you have like an evil heart and you get yourself a AK-47 and you go into a school and you cause complete chaos, that's evil because you wanted to do it. God is not freaking evil all. At all. There is no freaking evil about God. So like natural disasters can cause chaos, but it's natural, which means it's of God. It's not evil, but it is chaos. So you just have to. It's like it's some questions don't have an easy answer. Some questions just don't have an easy answer, man.
I mean, I it's not the aspect of it being an easy answer or an answer at all. It's to
Yeah.
get people to think,
Right.
bro,
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely.
bro. We are raised to be non-thinkers for self. We're raised to be
Right.
thinkers for someone else.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't ask, they don't ask these type of questions because they don't want us thinking about the
Hmm.
answers.
Right.
Because